our motivation for today. Let the refining and improving of your own life keep you so busy that you have little time to criticize others. Let the refining and improving of your own life keep you so busy that you have little time to criticize others.
Yeah.
Words of H. Jackson Brown Jr.
Just telling you plainly, shall I sit to them about and I say,
that's like mind your own business.
Mind your own business.
Yeah, and let your business keep you so busy.
Yeah,
that,
you never get to talk about other people.
I'm minding my
problems.
business. You're not my business.
Of course. But now you're here. You're my business.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no, you're my business.
That's what the message is saying.
No,
mind your business.
Really, I love your outfit.
Oh, thank you.
Because you're my business. Well, so we are your business today, and you also are our business. We'll get to give you all the best that we have by way of morning programming. We're taking a short break. When we come back, we bring to you the latest top stories we have by way of the news headlines.
Now, in our very first story, about 12.4% of Africa's 18 million plus inhabitants will develop cancer before the age of 75, according to a statement by the World Health Organization, the WHO, at the launch of this year's World Cancer Day. The risk increases with age.
According to the statement, about 90% of cancer cases are expected to occur after the age of 40. Cancer is a public health problem that kills many people. In 2012, an estimated 8.2 million people died from cancer worldwide, 65% of which were from less developed countries. In Ghana, 2,260 patients are recorded annually, with 1,121 deaths.
Okay, I think it's because we are adopting a lot of Western lifestyles. So the foods that we are eating, some of it is very unhealthy. We are not taking enough fruits and vegetables. Also, tobacco use. Tobacco is a high risk factor for cancer. And also increased alcohol intake. Physical inactivity. A lot of us, we don't do any exercises. So all these things, if we are able to take advantage of them, it reduces our risk for cancer.
The WHO's World Cancer Report 2014 said the major sources of preventable cancer include smoking, infections, alcohol, obesity and inactivity, radiation both from the sun and medical scans, air pollution and other environmental factors. Delayed parenthood and having fewer children and not breastfeeding are also major sources of preventable cancer. For most countries, breast cancer is the most common cancer in women. However, cervical cancer dominates in large parts of Africa. Minister of Health, Sherry Aiti, tells Joy News her ministry will do its best to create more awareness about communicable diseases.
We must also try very hard to avoid tobacco use. We must limit our alcohol intake, and especially for the women, please, black is beautiful. So let's say black. We must stop bleaching our skin and our faces. It's not only women who bleach their skins, men also bleach their faces. So please, Ghanaians, black is beautiful. So try and stop using bleaching creams, because these bleaching creams, most of them contain mercuric base. Which with the ultraviolet rays of the sun over a period of time acts on your skin, then you develop all kinds of cancers.
Breast cancer is increasing in the developing world due to increase in life expectancy, increase in urbanization, and adoption of Western lifestyles. Meanwhile, the 2014 World Cancer Day has been launched by the Ghana Health Service in collaboration with the Cancer Society of Ghana.
Now, a brief about what really the statistics from the World Health Organization is, and they've revealed that more than 12,000 Ghanaians die from cancer each year. The report also says more than 16,000 Ghanaians contract different kinds of cancers in the same period. Breast and cervical cancers are most common cancer types among women, while prostate and liver cancers are common among men. Burkitt's lymphoma is common among children. These statistics were released by the WHO, the UN's Directing and Coordinating Authority for Health, as part of events to mark this year's World Cancer Day, which is observed every year on February 4. The WHO celebrates World Cancer Day to raise awareness about various cancer types and also advocate for global action to control the epidemic. Globally, more than 12.7 million people undergo cancer diagnosis, and over 7 million more die from such cancer-related diseases.
The National Health Insurance Authority is considering entering into a number of contracts with members of the pharmacy chamber so officials can supply the authority drugs at a discount rate. The Health Insurance Authority contends since they buy over 80% of drugs supplied at the various hospitals from the chamber, there was the need for officials to meet to facilitate a roadmap to resolve the challenges with delayed payment.
On Monday, February 3, the Ghana Pharmacy Chamber threatened to stop supplying medicines to hospitals working with the National Health Insurance Scheme due to delayed payment of claims.
Sometimes you have to go for bank overdraft and loans in order to bridge the funding gap because you have your money locked up somewhere. And as you try to sustain operations, you have to go for loans, overdraft, and sometimes more credit from your supplier. In the interim, we are looking at making full payments so that the capital and the monies locked up, in terms of they will not unduly be affected by some of the microeconomic indicators I talk about, interest rates, inflation, and more importantly, the depreciation of the cedi.
Though the current problem seems to have been resolved, there's still some challenges with the pharmaceutical supply chain. Medicines in Ghana within the context of claims payment account for well over 52% of the National Health Insurance Scheme claims payment, according to officials of the NHIA. For some health service providers, there are serious challenges in procuring drugs to serve their clients as the delay in payment claims hinders the medicine supply chain, thereby affecting business negatively.
When you are buying from the suppliers, it's normally within 60 to 90 days. Mm-hmm. You have to settle them and then maybe get a new supply. But if you are going to render service and then 4 months down the lane you are not paid, as a private institution, it puts a lot of pressure on you. You will have to look for other funds to make sure that you render quality health care.
But the communications manager of the Health Insurance Authority, Salom Adonu, said the authority is considering entering into negotiations with the pharmacy chamber to find a lasting solution to the problem.
If we are one of their major clients, then we think that we have to engage them on that, and that is what we are doing. And a lot of talk is gone into that already. We only hope that we will begin to see the fruits in the coming. The medicines really is a big cost driver. 51% of our entire claims we pay go into medicines, and that is huge. So if we're able to deal with some of these matters, I think the pressure will come down a bit.
Going forward, he also advised service providers to submit claims on time so as to help in the processing of claims.
The Ghana Armed Forces has warned that it has not started any recruitment exercise. A statement from its PR directorate said the Armed Forces has not contracted any private organization to undertake any recruitment on its behalf and therefore warned the public to be wary of any such activity. The warning comes on the heels of reports that criminal entities were defrauding people through phony recruitment. The statement signed by the Director of Public Relations of the Ghana Armed Forces, Lieutenant Commander M.A. Labi, requested that all interested persons seeking to be enlisted or enrolled into the military should exercise patience until an official announcement or advertisement was published to that effect. The Ghana Armed Forces is also asking the public to support in outing fraudsters behind such scams. The Ghana Armed Forces assure the public of an enhanced application process and smooth conduct of the next recruitment exercise during the course of this year.
Now in Kumasi, calm has returned to Kenyasi and its surrounding communities after Monday's demonstration, which turned violent. Meanwhile, organizers of the demonstration, made up of assemblymen, say they have not regretted organizing the protest. Mahmoud Mohammed Noruddin reports.
At about 8 on Tuesday morning, residents had already returned to their daily economic activities. At the Kenya CDA cluster of school, which was closed down due to the violence, most pupils were absent from school for fear of another violence. The assistant head teacher, Michael Abuajidako, described the actions of the police as abysmal. The assemblymen of the area insisted they would stage demonstrations every 3 months if the roads are not rehabilitated. The district chief executive for Acquah East has been accused of being insensitive to the needs of the constituents. Adams Idisa, however, debunked the allegation and promised the road will be fixed by the end of the year.
The authorities of the University of Ghana have reviewed charges for the toll which they started charging from over the weekend. Under the review, students are to access the university without payroll tolls. But the Student Representative Council says it will receive, or it was yet to receive, an official notification to that effect.
The authorities of the University of Ghana on Saturday started charging road tolls on vehicles using the university roads. The university said it must charge the tolls to pay for a loan it contracted to refurbish and reconstruct roads within the campus. Private vehicles were to pay 1 cedi, while commercial vehicles had to pay 2 cedis for using the university roads. Big trucks were to pay 3 cedis, but after a public debate and students' agitation over the legality of the decision, school authorities decided to review the tolling system, exempting students from paying road tolls. According to the SLC Vice President Kwame Asari Entry, the decision to review the tolls was disclosed at an emergency closed-door meeting between school authorities and the Student Representative Council on Monday, 3rd February 2014.
Students have been given full exemption after the student has complied with Article 18, subsection 1 of the University Handbook, which requires all students using private vehicles to get them registered. So these students, having gone through the registration process, won't pay a penny for the tolls. They'll be given that free entry. The university management promised they were going to meet the taxi drivers, and this is the assurance they gave us, that they will ensure that not a peswa will be added to the already existing taxi fares. These cars also use the roads and they are being charged 2 cedi, so still at the end of the day the cost will be passed on to the students.
Commercial drivers who were supposed to pay 400 Ghana cedis for a year will now pay 100 Ghana cedis. But students say it is not enough and it will affect the cost of living on campus. The students are asking university authorities to exempt taxis operating on the campus, since it will have a direct impact on their finances.
Although the propositions have been accepted by university management, we are yet to see the full implementation of these propositions, and that is what we are waiting for. We had 15 shuttles will start work tomorrow for the pilot test. We are waiting for that. Until then, like we said, so we have intimated that from now to 11th of February, if we've not seen the implementation and the fourth consideration has not also been looked into, the students are ready to move onto the street for the chair demonstration.
Toll booth operators were busy collecting tolls from drivers using the university roads.
Several water bodies and farmlands in the Bosomtwe district of the Ashanti region have been destroyed by small-scale illegal miners. The illegal miners, for instance, have polluted a river at Brodequano that used to serve the local people. A report by Mahmoud Mohammed Noruddin.
The increasing number of illegal mining activities in the Bosomtwe district is alarming. Signs of environmental destruction left behind by Galamsey activities is an eyesore. Illegal small-scale mining has produced enormous waste that would have detrimental impact on communities for years. For instance, water bodies and farmlands have been destroyed, depriving hundreds of their livelihoods. Rivers here in the past served as a source of life for the local communities. It is no longer the situation. Residents now struggle to get potable water for domestic chores. Though the district assembly has constructed some boreholes, it is unable to supply adequate water for residents. General economic activities are under threat. Several hectares of farmland have been destroyed in the search for gold. Cracks and open pits left uncovered threaten lives of residents in the local communities. Though authorities of the district have boasted of getting rid of illegal miners, it is a different picture on the ground. Huge equipment continue to dig deep into the earth in search of gold. An operator of one of the excavators could not disclose who he was working for. Here at Beposo, along the main road to Atafram, our camera captured devastation caused by illegal mining activities. Several mining equipment captured here were parked because it was a Tuesday, a day illegal miners do not work. The district NADMO coordinator said school-going children have now abandoned school in search of gold. Raphael Anani John said these illegal miners work deep in the forest where it is difficult to access. He is worried illegal mining activity, if not checked, would end up polluting the Bosomtwe Lake.
They are destroying the community's farms, especially the cocoa farms and plantain farms. And also they have destroyed or polluted the water, the river bodies that the communities are using. And because of that, they don't get water, enough water. And also it has affected a school-going age group, especially the basic schools. That's child labor. They serve as child labor. They have been killing loose on the soil.
The district chief executive, Veronica Entry Ejay, is however hopeful activities of illegal miners will be brought under control.
I formed a task force and we went there. This task force comprised of NADMO, BNI, immigration and policemen in the district. We went there and we met them, so when the moment they saw us, they all ran away from the scene. And we gathered all the apparatus, their working tools to the office, which I'm keeping it now. So I'm still surprised that 3 days ago I heard the news that Galamsey people have captured the whole Bosomtwe area. I don't know actually where they have started digging their so-called Galamsey again.
She added her outfit would protect the district from the illegal mining and called on community leaders to help fight the canker.
We'll have to remain in the Ashanti region, where about 100 workers of some timber firms in Kumasi have been rendered homeless after a temporary structure they occupied was razed by fire. Timely intervention by personnel of the Ghana National Fire Service prevented the blaze from causing more damage. The devastated occupants, who were mainly squatters, believe the fire was triggered by naked fire, which may have come into contact with fuel from one of the rooms. External Fire Officer Dominic Kumi of the Chirapatre station, who led the operation to put out the fire, appealed to the public to adopt new fire service information contact rather than resorting to the non-functioning old short code 999. Ghanaians were also advised to be circumspect when they were handling fire, especially when they keep fuel in their homes.
So, government has no money to give to the National Food and Buffer Stock Company. The Agricultural Minister Clement Kofi Homado disclosed legislative processes are, however, underway to privatize the company and set up a commodity exchange system.
Food and Buffer Stock Company's mandate is basically to buy farm produce from farm gates as ready markets for farmers and to also store up food for emergency purposes. But the organization has recently decried its 15 million cedi seed capital with which it has operated since 2010.
We lack warehousing, silos that were handed over, and the drying sites that are needed for grain management and conditioning are in a woeful state. Okay, most of the warehouses are run down and need to be rehabilitated.
They are expecting a major capital injection from government.
We are supposed to be making profits, but it is quite marginal. We are there to help in disaster management. We are there to help in relief operations with our stocks. I mean, if as a nation we are really serious about having a working and food reserve agency, then I don't think this is the way to go about it. I'll say that under the circumstances we are doing our best, but we could do better if we are better resourced financially.
The Agric Minister, Clement Homado, says that will not happen.
We as government don't have any more money to give NAFCO. Either they open up for private participation and capital injection, or they participate in the the commodity exchange, or both. We hope that by early next year, we should be able to establish the commodity exchange. And that will take care of most of the problems we are having now, because NAFCO will become one of the license buying agencies. We will also accredit other license buying agencies to be mopping up grains from the rural areas. If NAFCO, for example, opens itself up, that they want to be part of the commodity exchange, and they need private sector participation, I tell you, people will put their money there.
Under the new commodity exchange system, which Ghana seeks to copy from Ethiopia, representatives of both farmers and buyers will negotiate prices, make payment, and take delivery of the produce.
Yeah. And as soon as the deals are concluded, the buyers put the money down, and the sellers make an offer, and it goes. So you don't have grains stuck in warehouses for a long time. It's moving, and as soon as it's moving, others are replacing it.
Government believes this will resolve the financial predicament of the Buffer Stock Company. Currently, the Buffer Stock Company has no budgetary allocation. Gifty Andopia, Joy News, Acquah.
Well, so that's it for the latest news update we have for you. And in the meantime, though, before we take a wrap on the news on the AM show, a recap of our top story. It's a recent report released by the WHO, that is the World Health Organization, reveals that more than 12,000 Ghanaians die from cancers each year.
University of Ghana has reviewed charges for the toll which they started collecting over the weekend.
The National Buffer Stock Company is cash-strapped, and as a result, government says it wants it to undergo some level of privatization.
So that's it for the AM News. Stay on. We'll bring you the sports. It's brought to you courtesy Cowbell and Tigo.
You stay on. We'll be right back. Now, in the first story, we all know that the Ghana Premier League is now going to have some brief of space, and as officials of the Ghana Football Association have outdoored a deal with First Capital Plus, agreeing a 10-year or a 5-year sponsorship in sum of some excess $10 million.
So it's for life. The initial tenure is for 5 years, for us to experiment and wait and see, though marriages are not for experimentation. We are very delighted about this relationship, and we would like to congratulate the board, management and staff of First Capital Plus Bank for agreeing to sponsor the Ghana Premier League. That decision, I believe, is born out of a good management good leadership and foresight on the part of the management and board of the bank. As you are no doubt aware, Ghanaians are very passionate about football, and anyone who decides to support and sponsor football is supporting the passion of this country. The Ghana Premier League has been in existence for a long time, but for the first half of this season, we went without a sponsor. The partnership with First Capital Plus Bank is therefore a timely one.
Well, Bimin Kwesi Nyantechi, the president of the Ghana Football Association. But it means that it is good news for the clubs who will be participating in the Ghana Premier League. I guess now it has to be called the First Capital Plus Premier League of Ghana. But for those clubs that will be participating in the second round of the Ghana Premier League, they have expressed their excitement about the deal, but particularly also looking forward to the second round of the league.
So we are ready. We prepared using a number of friendly games to build cohesion in the team. My coach, Coach Polo, says that he believes that the level of cohesion he's expecting is coming. He's brought up a few of the youngsters from the reserves, and we have a few new players added to the old stock who took care of the team's output in the first round. And I'm hopeful for the second round.
The ambition is to win the title this year. It looks a bit difficult looking at the gap between us and the leader, 7 points. But that is not unsurmountable. We believe that we have what it takes to close the gap and eventually overtake them.
As you said, before the league, we set a target for ourselves that in the history of the club, we have not been in the top four before. So this year, that's our target. But when the league started, the gelling of the old players and the young ones, they couldn't gel quickly. So we found it difficult. We lost our first 3 matches, but we were able to bounce back. And with the position we are still, we have that dream of being a top four. And we believe that starting from tomorrow, against Adriana will be the dream.
So the various officials or managers of the various clubs in the Ghana Premier League. But let's look at those fixtures that will be coming up in the second round for the Ghana Premier League. Across the folk will begin with a fixture against Wild Stars. Dubiasi FC will face off with Ediano Stars, Azakes, Amidan's Professionals, Bachim United, King Faisal, House of Lions, Liberty, Kotoko hosting Dwarves, and Inter-Allies hosting Midiama as well. Well, Ash Gold or Ashanti Gold, they will travel to Brekum to face Brekum Chelsea. So we'll see how those fixtures will pan out, but we all know that the increasing difficult one and the one everybody needs to look out for is that Brekum Chelsea Ash Gold fixture. We'll see how that goes when those final outcomes of the matches are seen from over the weekend. Well, Brekum Chelsea director Odro Safo has already rebuffed claims that had been circulating in the media that his club would not be participating in the Champions League, that is the African Champions League. He believes that the club has the clout to participate in the CAF Champions League. That's it for sports. It's brought to you by Tigo and Cowbell.